one from Mark. It is a hot topic, the mirrorless concept. That's quite interesting. I mean, we talked about earlier some other segment, but having again a photographer. Because one of the main topics when it comes to cameras, when it comes to mirrorless cameras, is always that question, what is better? Is it better to have a mirror or not? So, for technical reason, it makes, we understand why there is no mirror, but for you as a professional photographer?
For me, it's the only thing that stands out for me is the noise. So when you're doing, when I did the show jumping with the horses, and I was working around in the back in the stables and that kind of thing, you want to be as quiet as possible because you don't want to. I don't know.
Irritate the horses.
You don't want to freak out a horse.
Yeah.
So that's what they said to me. You don't want to freak out a horse. So you try to keep it as low profile as possible, and also I think with street photography as well, mirrorless. From a friend of mine who uses a mirrorless camera and is a street and news photographer, he finds it so much better to have no noise. You're less intrusive. You get a different response from your subject if they start to hear the shutter firing, and if you just can drop some frames without them even noticing, or you get a different response. You get a more natural response. So there is definitely a big place for mirrorless lenses. But for me, as a sports photographer, and it's a football match or whatever, then it doesn't make that much of a difference to me personally, as long as it takes the photos.
And then it's up to you just to explain once again, perhaps, what the difference is.
Yeah, I mean, the G5, for example, we've worked really, really hard, the technicians and engineers in Japan, to create a better sensor that does cope well in low light conditions. We've now increased that sensitivity to 12,800, whereas the G3 had half of that. So we've made dramatic improvement in that capability. And of course, then there's faster autofocusing. So when you use one of the X lenses, we've got a focus response time of like 0.09 seconds, which is, as we call it, lightning fast. It is very, very fast. So yeah, we're moving in the right direction with the capabilities of the sensor, and I think if it can produce, as we've seen here from Dean's photographs, really sharp, bright, again good in low light there, and some fantastic angles with the lenses that have, you've got so much possibility with a Micro Four Thirds digital SLM camera.
Definitely. Okay, then thank you for that information. Thank you for that hot topic, Mark.